It's not hard to find a weird moment in Bluey. There are so many crazy things happening that it's easy to get lost in all the chaos.
Police!
But can you remember a completely nonsensical moment in the adventures of the little blue pup?
That's crazy.
What could be weird about a little kiss on the lips? It's affectionate, full of warmth, and shows closeness between people, right? Wrong. It's totally wrong to kiss someone on the mouth if that person is married to someone else. In the episode Library, when Stripe is teaching Muffin that she's a very special pup, one scene stands out for being super weird. Bandit's brother gives Chili a kiss on the mouth. Okay, maybe every family has its own traditions, and maybe it's not our place to judge. But is this normal? We believe this was just an animation mistake by Ludo Studios, the production company behind the show. But even so, it's a really bizarre scene to watch. Even weirder are the 12 super strange moments that happen in the adventures of the blue pup that you're about to see now. We bet you didn't notice some of these details, so grab your popcorn and pay close attention, because another episode of Cinewave is about to start. Imagine how fun it would be to walk through the woods, enjoying nature, when out of nowhere, your teacher just magically appears. That's exactly what happened to Coco in the episode Wild Girls. The pink poodle just couldn't accept that Chloe and Indy were tired of playing the same thing over and over again. We do agree that Wild Girls seems like a really fun game, but Coco didn't want to try new things. And when she got upset, Calypso, who wasn't even there, just magically appeared. And yes, it was definitely a spell. You can even hear a magical poof sound in the background music.
Coco, that's some sad howling.
Like Calypso is some kind of good witch or fairy godmother giving advice to the little poodle. Well, everyone gets the magical teacher they deserve, right, Peppa? Speaking of fairies, we all know that if a magical creature like that suddenly flew into our house, we'd be shocked. This super weird but also magical scene happens in the episode Fairies when Bandit is really rude to his youngest pup, Bingo. After all the chaos, when they finally make up, the little brown pup meets her fairy godmother. This scene is strange for a lot of reasons, but the biggest one is that Bluey has never made it clear whether magic actually exists in this universe. Besides that, nobody ever talked about this again after season 1. Isn't it strange that Bingo actually saw a magical creature, but kept it a secret and never told Bluey? And even weirder, why did the fairy punish Bandit for being rude, but didn't do anything when he cheated in the race against Bluey? So many weird questions surrounding this fairy. For a long time, fans believed that Grandpa Bob had passed away and that the family was mourning his loss. Everything changed when Bob Healer showed up at his son Radley's wedding to Frisky at the end of season 3. We find out that Grandpa went to India because he wanted to find himself, which probably involved a lot of meditation and special teas. Could it be that in the next season, Grandpa Bob will be a completely different dog? If he found what he was looking for, that's definitely a character evolution. But it doesn't change the fact that he was missing for more than a whole season and nobody said a thing about it. And what's even weirder is that in this scene from the episode The Sign, Grandpa Bob doesn't say a single word to his grandpups. It's Grandma Chris who answers all their questions. Could it be that Bob took a vow of silence? And what about you? Would you like to visit India or another part of the world? Comment #travel so we can buy the tickets. While one character appeared in The Sign, another one was just missing. Snickers, one of Bluey's best friends, isn't in the episode at all. In the scene where Bluey tells her friends that she's moving away and they'll never see each other again, it's one of the saddest and most important moments in the show's history. All of Bluey's friends are there to hug her, but Snickers is nowhere to be seen. And that's just weird. It doesn't make sense at all. Why is he the only one not there? Many theories have been created, and the most accepted one is that he was sick. We'll probably find out the truth behind this mystery in the first half of the next season, but it's honestly scary to think about because one thing is for sure, Bluey is growing up, and a lot of topics are going to get more serious. If this theory is true, maybe Snickers' fate will be something really heavy, teaching his friends an important lesson about losing someone they care about, and that makes the scene where all the friends hug even more emotional and heartbreaking. Let's hope the little pup is okay. Do you know Juniper and Missy? They're part of one of the weirdest moments in the show. Don't worry, we'll explain. But first, here's a tip. You need to start paying more attention to what's happening in the background of Bluey's episodes. A lot of the stuff in the background has nothing to do with the main story, but it reveals a lot about the show's universe. In the episode where Indy and Rusty argue about parent roles and split up, they each go off to play with other friends. The whole story takes place at Calypso's school, where Bluey studies, a school for kids between 6 and 12 years old. But for a few seconds, during a race between Bluey and Rusty, you can see Juniper and Missy playing on the swings at Calypso's school in the background. That makes no sense at all. Don't get it? It's simple. Juniper and Missy are Bingo's classmates, and the three of them don't go to the same school as Bluey. In other words, they shouldn't be there. And no, we can't even say they were visiting their future school because this was during class hours. Juniper and Missy were supposed to be in school on the other side of town. Did they sneak out? Did Miss Retriever, Bingo's teacher, not notice they were missing? That's pretty serious. Our next topic isn't exactly a moment. It's actually a super weird change in Bluey's younger cousin. Since season 1, we've watched Socks grow up. She's Uncle Stripe and Aunt Trixie's daughter. She was the only character who walked on all fours and behaved like a real-world dog. But the most interesting thing about this little healer was actually her name. Socks got her name because of the markings on her paws. They look like little socks. But in season 3, those markings just disappeared. Ludo Studios literally took away the reason why Socks was called Socks. Does that make any sense to you? Sure, dogs change as they grow, but in the show, this decision feels really strange. It's hard to look at such a sweet moment in the show and say, it's weird. But in Bluey, anything is possible. In the episode Sleepy Time, Bingo has a dream about traveling through space. In a really special moment, she and Bluey imagine that Mr. Healer's body is the surface of the planet Jupiter, and that's kinda weird. Wasn't this Bingo's dream? So why was Bluey having the exact same imagination at the exact same time? Maybe you've had the same dream as your siblings before, but that's super rare. Could Bingo and Bluey's minds be connected? You know what's even better than dreaming? Subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications. Here, the adventure never ends. Another super weird moment happens in the Easter episode when the healer pups are searching for chocolate eggs around the house. At one point in the mystery that Bandit and Chili set up, the pups realize they have to go into their parents' bathroom to find the next clue. This scene happens while Bandit is, well, pooping. And if that weren't gross enough, it's also really weird because in real life, no one just walks into a bathroom while someone else is using it. That's a private moment. Awkward, stinky, and not just something people do. Maybe the healers don't like closed doors, but still, this is super weird. In the episode where Bluey and Bingo ask their dad to play sheep with them, something super weird and just wrong happens. To stop Wendy from complaining to Chili about the mess, Bandit ends up headbutting the Chow Chow neighbor's butt. Wendy does get mad about it and warns Bandit not to do it again, but it's a strange scene because in the real world, hitting someone's butt is pretty disrespectful. It's not funny, but it was played off as a joke. In the episode Past the Parcel, something really weird happens, and we're sure you didn't notice. The characters' birthdays happen in the wrong order. Ludo Studios tricked you, and you didn't even realize it. While everyone was having fun with Lucky's dad's rules, a whole year went by. In this episode, Jasper is one of the puppies celebrating his birthday, and if you look closely at the party poster, you'll see he was born on December 14th. So far, so good, but then it's Buddy's turn to have a birthday, and his date is set for November 5th. Jasper's party happens first in the episode, and the only way that makes sense is if a full year had passed. So either that's what happened, or it was just a simple mistake by Ludo Studios. It was super quick, and barely anyone noticed. But now that you know, isn't that kinda weird? In the episode Spy Game, something really strange is going on, but barely anyone caught it. Where is Chloe's little brother? Chloe's mom and dad are at the family barbecue, but their youngest kid is nowhere to be seen. Since this is a season 1 episode, you might argue that Chloe's Dalmatian mom was still pregnant, but that's not true. Chloe's mom appears with the baby in Bluey's very first episode. Actually, he even shows up before his sister does. So by the time Spy Game happens, the baby was already born. Maybe he was spending time with his grandparents while the rest of the family enjoyed the barbecue without worrying about a newborn. But that's still weird, because Chloe's little brother is a newborn, which means he needs his mom to feed him. So yeah, it makes absolutely no sense for the tiny Dalmatian to be missing in Spy Game. But it totally makes sense for you to stick around. That's why we've got 2 more videos for you to check out. See you in the next one. Bye for now.